Okay, so before we start today, I need to address something, and don't worry, it isn't an ad read. Now on Saturday, I uploaded a video where I was talking about the Diddy situation and shared my stance that there is never an excuse for a man to strike a woman.
Had to ask God for his mercy and grace.
Oh, f*** off, you spineless b****. I asked God for his mercy and grace. What do you want, a round of f***ing applause? And look, I know there will always be exceptions to every rule, like for example, if your life is in danger, but that's not what that video was about. But I was really upset, if I'm being honest, and disappointed to see some of my long-time subscribers leaving racist comments and disagreeing with me about violent behaviour. Now, I appreciate healthy debates and differing opinions, that's what this channel's all about. But racism and justifying violence, they're just not up for debate. Now, my channel is about science and facts, and one fact remains. Violence is never okay, and neither is racism, so let's keep it out of my comment section. If you can't, then maybe my channel isn't for you. Anyway, let's get on with today's video. Please subscribe.
What's up, folks?
Oh, brilliant. Dan Pratt, that's bound to improve my mood.
So I noticed I had a recent influx of idiotic, brainless, complete lack of critical thinking comments in my channel lately.
Yeah, and you're bound to get idiotic, brainless comments on your videos, Dan, because you're a flat earther who makes videos about flat earth which get watched by other flat earthers, so I really can't see your point.
So I knew somebody had made a video about me.
Well, it wasn't me. I haven't made a video about you for at least 5 months, maybe.
That's how you can always tell when these anti-flat earth triggered, desperate for attention, and the few pennies they make off of their clan of anti-flat earth imbecile audience.
The hell is he talking about? Oh, you mean debunking channels, Dan? And what you call a clan of imbecile, wrong, whatever the hell it was you said, we just call those normal people.
And it just got me to thinking once again, who are the real conspiracy theorists?
Who are the real conspiracy theorists? Now, is it flat earthers? You know, the ones who are tirelessly navigating their belief that our planet is a cosmic pizza? Or is it globe earthers who have the audacity to trust centuries of scientific evidence, satellite imagery, and the occasional space voyage? Well, let's weigh up the options, shall we? On one side, we have flat earthers boldly challenging the status quo with their belief that gravity is a hoax and that NASA is just a Hollywood studio with a really big budget. And on the other side, we have globe proponents who rely on things like physics, astronomy, and that pesky little thing called reality. So who is the real conspiracy theorist? The folks with their feet firmly planted on the ground, trusting things like GPS, international flights and weather patterns, or the brave few who believe that we're all part of the Truman Show, and that if you sail too far, you might just fall off the edge? I guess it depends. If believing the world is round because of overwhelming evidence makes you a conspiracy theorist, then call me Galileo and let's start a club.
I don't think I truly know anyone that claims the earth is flat, rightfully so, because it is, that hasn't done a large amount of research into the topic.
Then you clearly haven't met as many flat earthers in real life as you would have us believe, because none of them do any research. Well, some of them do, but they always just end up proving what we already know.
Interesting.
We heard sometime last year Justin Trudeau himself say that millions, hear that, millions, we don't know if it's 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, 50 million, but millions, okay, of people suddenly believe the earth is flat.
Sorry, Dan, I missed that. How many? Maybe he did say that. But I've watched that interview and he said he finds flat earthers fascinating. He didn't say he agreed with them, and as far as the numbers go, I'm not 100% sure if that's what he said or didn't say. But let's be kind. let's say he claims that 100 million people believe the Earth is flat, out of everybody that lives on Earth at the moment, which is 8 billion people. That's still only 1.25% of the world's population are that stupid. And how is it that you all have a massive mistrust of politicians and, well, anyone in authority really, but when Justin Trudeau says that he finds flat earthers fascinating, he's suddenly a guy?
Those people that, after looking at the topic objectively...
Fair play, Dan, that was good going, because I know I couldn't say something that insane without bursting out laughing immediately after saying it. How can you possibly say that flat earthers look at things objectively? Do you know what objectively means? To look at something objectively, you can't be influenced by your personal feelings. And we've all heard flat earthers say the Earth is flat because it looks flat to me or feels flat to me. That's a personal feeling. And they completely misinterpret every single piece of evidence that shows us that the Earth is a globe. Again, that doesn't fit in with looking at something objectively.
Questioning what they were told their entire lives and forced to believe in through faith and faith alone.
Yeah, but it's not faith and faith alone when it's backed up by a boatload of evidence, is it, you moron?
Once they objectively looked at it, evaluated the science of the situation.
The science of the situation? Hang on a second. When did your channel become satirical?
Came up to the obvious conclusion.
You nearly said collusion then, didn't you? Which, given the fact that you're a flat earth conspiracy theorist, would have been rather unfortunate.
That the heliocentric model is not only not real, it is a scientific impossibility.
Have you been watching Level Earth Observer, Mr. Pratt? Now, for it to be a scientific impossibility, that would have to mean that every single scientist from every single branch of science that deals with the shape of the Earth would have to be wrong, and that you and a handful of other online clowns are right.
Or is it the people that not only believe the scientific impossibility that is the heliocentric model is real, but they also believe that a bunch of people just went crazy. Millions of people just went crazy all at once.
Well, no, we don't think that millions of people all went crazy all at once. It would have been a gradual thing over a long period of time.
And just decided to start saying the Earth was flat for attention?
Well, yes, but not just for attention. But it's funny that you mention this, because one key study by social psychologists Karen M. Douglas, Robbie M. Sutton, and Alexandra Kachoka, published in 2017, emphasizes that belief in conspiracy theories can be partly driven by social motivation, including the desire to belong to a group and feel special or unique in one's beliefs. And these social benefits can be a powerful motivator for maintaining and spreading conspiracy theories like the flat Earth. No, wait, silly me, I would imagine that all of psychology is wrong as well.
I could see it if it was a couple thousand people. That might make sense.
Yeah, but what if it was only 1.25% of the world's population? Would that make sense? Because it makes perfect sense to me.
But to think that they act like it's a contagious disease or something.
Flippin' heck, Dan, I can't believe you're giving me something to think about. I'd never even considered that. They do say that certain people are more prone to being accepting of conspiracy theories than others, so maybe you're onto something, pal.
Did COVID cause all these people to think the Earth was flat?
No, it didn't. But again, it's interesting that you bring that up, because there were millions of people who were stuck at home with nothing better to do than sit on the internet and look up ridiculous conspiracy theories.
So these people, once again, they think they're so brilliant, yet they're the imbeciles running around thinking millions, according to Justin Trudeau himself, of people just went nuts or went retarded and decided to run around stating its absolute fact, scientific method-based fact, that the Earth is flat.
Well, I have absolutely no idea how you got all that from Justin Trudeau saying he finds flat earthers fascinating. And again, I feel it would be remiss of me not to point out that I thought all flat earthers didn't trust politicians. Why is it okay to accept what Justin Trudeau has or hasn't said now?
And that the heliocentric model, a whirly, twirly vacuum barrierless vacuum ball in space, is a lie.
A whirly, twirly, barrier-less vacuum ball in space. Now, is that your expert scientific opinion, Dan? Or are they just some words that you link together because they thought it made you sound intelligent? Because if it's the latter, epic fail, mate.
A lie that was very intentionally told to the world and drummed into their brains since they were tiny children in order to control their worldview and remove God from their emotions, their psyche, their mind completely.
Ding, ding, ding! The Earth is flat because God. Yeah, I forgot Daniel Pratt was one of the God Squad. Dan, you're making yourself sound completely insane, which I know is par for the course. I've watched lots of your videos, but what you say is lies to indoctrinate little children. Other people, normal people like me, consider that to be an education, which is valuable, because if none of us had it, everyone would end up like you.
And it just so happens all these anti-flat earth trolls are triggered by God to no end.
Now, I can only speak for myself here, but I'm not triggered by God. I just don't believe that God exists. And what about MC Toon, or Muck Toon as I used to call him? He's a Christian. He isn't triggered by God, but he still thinks you're an idiot.
That seriously cracks me up.
Really? Oh, thanks, Dan. Most flat earthers hate me.
The hypocrisy of these morons running around calling flat earthers conspiracy theorists.
Do you really think we run around talking about flat earthers? I'm an old man. I haven't got the energy to run a bath. And you should be more concerned with the irony in what you just said rather than talking about the hypocrisy of people like me.
When again, flat earthers have scientific method-based science.
Scientific method-based science. You actually think you sound smart when you say that, don't you? When in reality, it just highlights exactly what you are.
On their side, to reach the absolute factual conclusion, the Earth is a level plane. Yet meanwhile, these people claim they live on a whirly, twirling, millions of miles an hour traveling vacuum ball with no barrier between us and the vacuum of space.
Now, if you happen to see this video, Dan, which I feel sure you will, because I think you are the type of person who searches his own name on YouTube, can you explain to me what the vacuum of space is in a scientific context? Because if you're anything like any other flat earther who mentions the vacuum of space, it isn't what you think it is.
And they believe that millions of people just all of a sudden went crazy or stupid to decide the Earth was flat.
As I said earlier, I don't think it happened immediately. It was a slow process over a long period of time. But most of those people were probably already pretty stupid. I mean, you'd have to be to think the Earth was flat.
That's their logic. And yet they call us unhinged conspiracy theorists.
Dan, you might want to stop laughing like a maniacal idiot and duck. That plane sounds really low. Oh, you're still here then. I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe even learned something new. If you did, then you'll probably enjoy this video as well. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already and subscribe if you're new. And I will see you all again very soon, or in a few minutes if you do decide to watch this recommended video. Love you, bye.